Hi, it's Julie Polanco with Julie Naturally, and today I am going to talk to you about challenge boxes. So, what is a challenge box? A challenge box is when you get a bunch of junk together, like I have here, and you put it in a box and you use it to inspire some creativity in your kids. It's most appropriate for kids about age 8 and up. With some help from adults, you could use it maybe with a 6 or 7-year-old and with very easy, simple challenges that might be okay with them. But it's really best for kids about age 8. And by about age 12 or so, they're ready to move on to some real stuff, and the challenge boxes have served their purpose. So really 8 to 12 is the best age range. So you put together a bunch of random things. This looks like a pile of garbage, right? Like I raided my recycle bin and collected a bunch of interesting looking things. So I have some round things, some caps, and I have some odd stuff. And I have some more, box looking things too. And some other random kinds of things like corks and little tubes and tin foil. The key is that you want to have a variety of different kinds of materials. So how do you use this, and why would you put this together? Why not just throw it in the garbage and forget about it, right? And so a challenge box is meant to inspire creativity, like I mentioned. Well, how does it do that? With the PDF printout that comes with this video, you get a number of different ideas for challenges. So it's meant to be sort of a STEAM activity for your children. So let's say you say, well, I want you to take these random materials and see if you can make something that can move like a car on the ground and be able to hold your dolls. So then they might go through the box and say, oh, well, these things roll. Maybe we could use these somehow. Or maybe we could use some caps. They roll. And then you'd also have maybe some wires, some pipe cleaners. Maybe you might have some thin wood dowels in there as well. Some other random kinds of things like that you might have to buy or maybe sort of scrap from your garage in that way to add to the box, so that they can make something from their imagination that rolls like a car and can hold their dolls or their army men or whatever that you come up with. That would be a simple challenge. But that's why you want to have a variety of materials. So you have some things that are kind of square shape, like these, and smaller square shapes, and the round shapes, and some odd kinds of things like yogurt containers that I have here. Because some of the challenges may be things like make a maze, or can you make a marble run, or a very simple Rube Goldberg machine, which would be for a much older child. So the idea is to use recyclables, random stuff, to meet a STEAM or STEM-based challenge that you posed. So this would be sort of a supplement to some kind of, if you're using a science curriculum, it might be a supplement to your science curriculum. It could also be used as a creative activity on a rainy day, like just to kind of mix it up a little bit so you have something different to do. You may even try using it as an introductory engineering type of project for your kids. I like to use it with my kids as a way to stimulate new ideas and to give them a chance to exercise their creativity. And I did use it as a very inexpensive way to introduce them to STEM type things. So I would take all of these random things and put them in a box, actually in a physical box. And I would pull it out and I would give them a challenge to meet when they would pull it out. And sometimes I didn't have to give them a challenge. They came up with some challenges of their own. They just look at what was there and say, hey, let's make this thing today. And it's really important to make sure you have the appropriate kinds of tools on hand for them. So glue and tape and string and all of those kinds of things to help them put the pieces together. If they're old enough and you feel confident enough, you may also add in some small motors or some simple circuits that they can use to add even more excitement to their creations. And the reason why this is important is because we want to encourage our children to use their creativity. Creative thinking is kind of on the decline, unfortunately, and we want to give them something where they can just express their own ideas and put things together. It is a way that can help build confidence in your child and their own abilities and their own ideas for things. And they can make a variety of different kinds of projects and be proud of what they made. Here's something rather simple that one of my kids made, and it's kind of a maze for pet rats, to be honest. So he devised a very simple project from some odd recyclables, so that he could challenge his rats to see, well, how quickly do they learn where the food is. This is just part of a bigger project that he had, but he used materials like this, as you can tell. This kind of thinking is important because I don't know if you've seen the movie Apollo 13 or you know a lot about that mission, but there's a scene in the movie where everything is going wrong on the out in space there on the ship, and they're in communication with mission control, and they have to be able to make something out of the materials that are there on the rocket. And so on the space shuttle part of the rocket where the people are, anyway, they have to make this life-saving device from what is there up there in space with them. But and so they're in communication with mission control, and mission control is trying to, they throw all this stuff on the table and say, okay, we have to make something that looks like that's this shape fit into a hole that's this shape. And so they had to engage in much the same kind of thing that your child is doing with this box. They have to figure out how to meet the challenge, how to answer the problem. And that's another way to use this box, is giving them some random materials and saying, okay, this is what you have. Can you solve this problem with these materials? And that flexible thinking, problem solving is really key in today's workplace, and it's just key for life. Children who have those abilities to think that way tend to have less incidence of discouragement and less depression and things like that, because they're able to figure out how to resolve problems instead of feeling just really discouraged by that because they don't know what to do. So try this out, get your materials together, raid your recycle bin. Make sure you have a lot of different kinds of things, round things, square things, long things, short things, you know, little tubes. You know, you might want to build a marble run, things that can roll, things that maybe could fly, things that solve problems, mazes, you know, all kinds of things. Using the PDF that I included this video to encourage the creative thinking. So get going on that. It doesn't cost you anything to put this together. So it's available to everyone. So I'm so happy to tell you about this option for encouraging some creativity and some open-ended play time in some ways for your child, and something different to do on a rainy day. Instead of playing video games or watching TV or those kinds of very easy things, this is also very easy, and you can just give them the box and let them go at it. So thank you for watching, and have fun.